Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Invest. I do want to say that this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice. Today, I want to give you an update on Bitcoin Segwit2x. So to tell you what is going on, this is a continuation of a video that I have done last month. If you have not seen it, I will leave the link in the description below. And I want to give you this to start out with. If you have seen the matrix, you appreciate this, and this is exactly what needs to happen on the market. There has been a strong debate about Bitcoin Segwit and then Segwit2x, and I do believe that debating is not about winning or losing; it is about exchange of knowledge. So let's do another a short recap on what is happening in Bitcoin. So as we know that Bitcoin has a scaling problem, there are more and more users on the network that led to more and more network congestion because there's more and more transactions. And of course, all of this led to higher fees and slower transaction. And because Bitcoin is a decentralized network, the community does have to come together to come up with solutions. There are two main proposals to solve this problem, and this led to an intense debate for years. So on one side, you have the Segwit supporter, also known as the Segregated Witness, and on the other side, you have the block size increase supporter. In order to solve this problem, the community got together in May of this year, 2017. That's include the miners, the developers, the exchanges. They all came together and an agreement was finally reached. So the agreement is called the NYA. So what is the NYA? NYA is the New York agreement, and this basically saying that Bitcoin network will go ahead and implement the Segwit protocol, and after that in November of this year, so in about 2 months, they will go ahead and implement a block size increase to 2 megabyte, also known as 2x, hence Segwit2x. And this has to be done through a hard fork because Bitcoin is hard-coded as 1 megabyte block size. And the reason why the Bitcoin was hard-coded at 1 megabyte because at the beginning, Bitcoin network is quite weak and small, and Satoshi was afraid that people may attack the network. Hence, he hard-coded the block size of 1 megabyte to basically able to defend people from attacking the network. But hence now the network is a lot stronger and a lot more people on it. So this 1 megabyte become an issue. Of course, the majority of the people agree to the NYA, the New York agreement, with implementing what I just said. However, there is a smaller group of people, around 17% or so of the miner does not agree, and they do not want to go ahead and go with this agreement. So what happened is in August 2017, Segwit is locked in, but together with that, Bitcoin Cash also happened. And this is because of the miner who did not agree with the New York agreement. And some of the people wondering if Bitcoin Cash is going to happen, then what was the point of the New York agreement? So what's happening now? So at the moment, Segwit is implemented on a Bitcoin network, and it is on its way to adopting the Lightning network, which in theory should solve a lot of the scaling issue. Some people wonder if the Segwit2x with 2 megabyte block size is necessary anymore. Like I just said, to increase the block size to 2 megabyte, this has to be done through a hard fork, and a hard fork is risky, as you may know. Again, I am not here to tell you which size is correct, which size is right, which size is wrong. I'm just basically here to tell you what is currently going on with Bitcoin. Like I said, if you want to know more information about what has happened, go ahead and click on the link that linked to the previous YouTube video that I have done. So what is going on at the moment? What happened now? So what happened now is Bitcoin is looking increasingly likely to splinter off again in November. This means we may have a third Bitcoin as a result of this. Major industry players say consensus between opposing camps look increasingly unlikely. That opinion was echoed by some of the biggest mining pool operators and programmers at BitCan in Hong Kong as well. So BitCan actually is a convention that is happening at the moment in Hong Kong. It is important to know that BitCan is actually basically organized by Bitmain. And Bitmain is one of the biggest mining pool for Bitcoin. And they somewhat support Bitcoin Cash. So what is consensus? How do we avoid a third Bitcoin? So consensus means the miners to reach at least 92% of agreement on supporting the Segwit2x hard fork. This means that 92 out of 100 of miners must signal the support for Segwit2x in order to avoid another split. The consensus for Segwit2x is more than 93% in July, and this is just right after Segwit implementation, but that number is going down rapidly. And if you couple this with the success with the Bitcoin Cash split up, which is hugely profitable, another split is likely for many of the industry experts. So who are these industry experts, you may ask? So first off is Roger Ver. Of course, some people call him the Bitcoin Jesus. Roger Ver, if you don't know who he is an early Bitcoin investor, and also he is one of the funders for many of the early cryptocurrencies companies out there. So Roger Ver says in an interview with Bloomberg recently that he is moving some of his funds into Bitcoin Cash, and he is anticipating the second split of Bitcoin this year, creating another version of Bitcoin. For the lack of better word, we can call it Bitcoin Segwit2x for now. I also want to point out that Roger Ver is also being criticized for embracing Bitcoin Cash because some people believe that Bitcoin Cash is giving too much power to the miners. Another person is Wang Cheng. He is a co-owner and chief administrator for the F2 pool mining. And also Simon Mao, chief strategy officer at Blockstream. These are some of the industry experts that definitely think that the second split for Bitcoin is become likely. Well, let's take a look at how the markets react to this. As you can see today, there is another bloodbath yet again in the market. When Bitcoin price going down, it seems that they are taking everything with them as well. But keep in mind that there are many reasons why the market is going down in value, not just because of the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Segwit2x drama, but because some of them is still the reminiscence of the ban from China. The FUD is definitely not over. And as you can see in the last 7 days, all the charts look somewhat identical. Now let's talk about what are some of the short-term possibilities. So first off, this is fairly simple. First off, if consensus is reached by November for Bitcoin Segwit2x, then nothing will happen. Bitcoin will continue its course with the hard fork with full consensus. However, the more likely event at this moment is that consensus is not gonna reach by November for Bitcoin Segwit2x, and the miners gonna force another chain split, and of course that's gonna be causing a lot of price volatility. Whether or not this is good or bad, I don't know. Bitcoin only split once in this history so far, so there are not enough data for me to make any intelligent guess on what that will be. And of course, that's going to lead to the creation of the third Bitcoin. And who will support the third Bitcoin with exchanges, with wallets will, and what the third Bitcoin will be called is remain to be seen. So in conclusions, there are, like I said, a lot of FUD in the market at the moment. Everyone is entitled to his or her opinion, but do know that people have reason to say certain things. The facts remain that the split between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash is hugely profitable for a lot of people. So there are financial incentives for the miner to split again, in my opinion. However, I don't like it. I think Bitcoin community should be one, and there should not be another split, in my opinion. Also, if you believe in the long-term potential of Bitcoin, then there's nothing to be worried about. If Bitcoin splits again, then you will get another Bitcoin anyway. I mean, look at the bright side. Bitcoin Cash is still around. It is almost like free money. And I said this before, and I will say it again. FUD may create some good buying opportunities. And I will leave you with this. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. And this is, of course, by Warren Buffett. How true. And this is not just for the stock market. The crypto market is also a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. With that, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please hit like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, there are ways to do so in the description below. Take care, and I will talk to you later.